What's going on, everyone? This is Sunderland Senior coming at you with another video, and today I have actual gameplay footage of Metal Gear Acid. Now, Metal Gear Acid, I believe, was one of the games that was first released on the PSP when it came out way back when. And sadly, for those of you who don't remember the PSP, it was a machine that was basically ahead of its time. I'm about to do something a little different, and I'm going to be talking while I play the game, so yeah. This should be interesting. See if I don't jumble my words up or anything. Metal Gear Acid, before we go into it, is a card-based game. It's kind of like a kind of like an RPG turn-based strategy game, but you play with cards. So what I mean by that is, let me see if I have some data that I can load up to show you what I mean. All right. So here we go. So basically, this is how this game, I'm going to try to walk you through it. I believe not. Okay, so we're going to start from the very beginning. And just kind of bear with me through the cutscenes. The story is really forgettable, because I played this game many times on the PSP and I just cannot remember the story. Probably because I didn't really care too much about the story. I just cared more about the gameplay. So you're actually seeing real gameplay right now in real time as I'm talking. So unfortunately there's no way to skip any of this. We just kind of have to bear through it. You can hear the buttons clicking in the back. But yeah, this is Metal Gear Acid. Basically, Metal Gear Acid is think of Metal Gear. Excuse me. Think of Metal Gear. And if you ever played Kingdom Hearts, I believe Chain of Memories on the DS, where you had movement cards and attack cards and stuff like that, Metal Gear Acid is the same thing. Metal Gear Acid, but with cards. So you have movement cards, you have attack cards, you have weapon cards, stuff like that. You also have... the sequel was actually more interesting in a way, because you had different types of cards. And I will cover that game, and I will show gameplay footage of that game in a later video if you want. The next video that I plan on doing is actual gameplay of Resident Evil Survivor for the PSX or the PlayStation X, the first gray PlayStation that had Tony Hawk and such on it. So the graphics on this thing are actually pretty amazing, and as you can see here, this is actual gameplay footage. This is how the game breaks down. So you have attachment cards, you have attack cards, you have gun cards, bomb cards, all kinds of cards. Health cards, things like that. You can set up claymores, you can set up whatever. So as you can see, you pick a card, you equip it, and you pretty much, this is how the game actually works. So at the beginning of the game, you can carry a maximum, I believe, of 40 cards. I believe 40 cards. So you can actually select them individually. At the very beginning of the game, you have no cards. You have a handful of cards. And some of the cards you may use over and over. And the cool thing is you have gun cards, you have bomb cards, you also have key cards. In the very first Metal Gear, where you have to collect a level 1 card from Vulcan Raven and stuff like that. Not Vulcan Raven, but whoever. You just collect different cards to advance through different level doors. I believe each door had a level 1, level 2, and as you progressed in the game, you had different level cards that would open certain level doors. Those of you who played the very first Metal Gear on the PSX, you know what I'm talking about. And like I said, as you can see here, this is actual gameplay. So you choose your cards, and you just pretty much go all out with these cards. And like I said, this was a really good game. The graphics on this, believe it or not, the graphics on the PSP were amazing for the time. And the PSP was one of those systems that was way ahead of its time. And it could have been so much more. The PSP could have been so much more. Special cards, there you go. The Running Man, which lets you move further than a regular movement card. You have evasion cards, which pretty much, if an enemy is behind you, to the left, to the right, or in front of you, and they use their weapon card, you pretty much duck out of the way. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Metal Gear Acid. This game is not for everybody, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe a handful of people heard of this game, because I'm not gonna say that it was a rare game, but I can see why this game wasn't exactly everybody's cup of tea. Some people like the Portable Ops franchise, the Portable Ops series of Metal Gear games, where your big boss, I believe Portable Ops was after Metal Gear Solid 3, was around the time of Metal Gear Solid 3, so it was after Metal Gear Solid 3, but before Metal Gear Solid 5. So it's kind of like an in-between. And it focused more on Big Boss than anything else. And this guy Leon, he's a boss later on in the game. But this game, like I said, this game was, to me, it was amazing. I love this game. I play it all the time. I'm definitely gonna have to show you some gameplay footage of Metal Gear Acid Squared, which was an amazing game. And the card system was a little bit more complex, because here you have movement cards, weapon cards, attachment cards, and special cards. And in Metal Gear Acid Squared, you had trap cards. So you would lay a card down, and as soon as an enemy would step on it, it would dismantle their equipment, or it would dismantle whatever they have equipped. So, like I said, this game is not for everybody. This isn't everybody's cup of tea, but to me, it was amazing. So, as you can see here, I'm playing with Snake, and as soon as I get through the cutscenes, it's a Metal Gear game, so there's like a lot of dialogue. As soon as I get through all this dialogue, I'm going to try to do the best that I can to show off some of the graphic capabilities of the PSP. Ahead of its time, man. This thing was ahead of its time. It could have been so much more. And I was actually one of the few people who actually went out like a sucker and bought a PSP Go, which was it was a PSP, but it didn't have a slot for UMDs. So everything was digital. I'm telling you, ahead of its time. I believe it only had about 15 gigs of memory, which is like insignificant by nowadays standards. But the PSP Go didn't have a slot for the UMDs, which was the games, the PSP games. They came in like a little plastic case, and the disc was in the case. It's awesome. But it was digital download, so you would download your games. You would buy them on the PlayStation Store, and then you would upload them onto the PSP Go. So this is basically Metal Gear right here. So use a movement card right here. Move. Let me see if I can just get a. Excuse me. I'm trying to see if I can get like a. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can get a zoom in on Snake's face. So, but the graphics on this thing were phenomenal. Okay, give me a second. So we're gonna move. So this is a movement card, the Genome Soldier, of course, a movement card. Hold on, give me a second. So this is pretty much explaining this is a tutorial, this is the very beginning. I could have sworn I had saved data, but anywho. So the story to this game was super forgettable. I don't even think the Acid games are canon to the overall Metal Gear storyline. So then, like I said, the story is super duper duper forgettable. I don't even remember the story. I know it had to do with these two creepy little doll things. But to me, what drew me to this game was the gameplay, the gameplay aspect of this game, not so much the story. And you have these little, like, mannequin doll things. I don't know what they are. But like I said, anybody who played Metal Gear Acid didn't play for the story, probably. And I don't think this was directed by Hideo Kojima himself. I think this was somebody else. So this game I love the gameplay, like I said. What I like the most about this game is the gameplay itself, not the story. The story, gameplay, graphics, and then story in that order, I would have to say. So, like I said, you have a total of, I believe, 40 cards in your deck, 35 or 40 cards, and you collect cards as you go. So keep in mind that this game came out before microtransactions and before DLC and stuff like that. So the game itself actually had like a card shop, so you could buy cards individually or you could buy them in packs. And the cool thing about it was that look at these graphics. For a PSP, for a handheld, these graphics were awesome. So the way the card shop worked was that you had packs from like Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, and 3. So you had those from those games. So you had like guns and stuff like that. Metal Gear Solid Acid 2, or Metal Gear Acid Squared as it's known, I believe they also had cards for Metal Gear Solid 4, because I think that came out right around the time that Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots came out a long time ago. And you also had cards from that game. So you had old Snake, stuff like that. And like I said, I can do gameplay of that, gameplay footage of that game a little later, but we're trying to get through this one right now. So look at these graphics, man, they're awesome. These are awesome ass graphics. I don't know why this thing, well, I can't imagine why. Alright, so I'm gonna move. What do you think? What? Oh, the body armor part. Okay, cool. So like I said, this is just a tutorial. So you can equip or you can move. So obviously I'm gonna move, and then bladder. But these things, you really have to think about what you're doing, what cards you want to use, and you gotta basically whatever card you get, that's what you use. That's how you progress in the game. So yeah, it's just explaining. Front evade, okay. Okay, so he's showing you how to equip the card. So equipped. Now you have 2 slots. As you continue in the game, you pick up a card that has 4 slots, and then a card that has 6 slots. So you can equip more stuff in your equipment boxes. Okay, so basically the front evade means that whatever enemy's in front of me, if he shoots at me with the front evade, I can duck out of his line of fire, basically. And I'm telling you, man, these graphics were awesome for a handheld. And Roger's pretty much explaining how all this works. And the one thing that I could never get used to was the I believe the turn. You have a little clock. Okay. Gonna end our turn. Alright, now let me do my thing. Let me do my thing. But yeah, man, like, these things are phenomenal. So this is the joystick. The joystick is to move around, and the D-pad is to select a card and move. So we're gonna move, stay, and then once we get to the door is locked. So he's basically saying the door's locked, I don't know what to do. So this is where I believe the weapons card come in. You can equip weapons, but you can also, if you equip the same weapon into your, where you saw my little front evade, you can actually use it. So if you equip the gun over on top of the gun that you already have equipped, you can use it. So some guns you can only equip, some guns you have to you can use, but it's the same as all the Metal Gear. So like if you use a gun and there's a lot of enemies, chances are that the noise is gonna get the enemy's attention, and that's not what you want. So this is him pretty much going over stuff, blah blah blah. I'm trying to see if I can get to the main menu to show you what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get to the story, a lot of dialogue, because it is a Metal Gear game. And I'm telling you, like, I think that chick right there, Alice, is psychic. I don't remember her deal because the story is super forgettable. If I can make it to the card shop, Metal Gear Acid, trademark. It's gonna take me to the main menu. Let me see. It should. I'm still trying to tinker with my software, so you're really not missing out on much. So you have map select, which pretty much lets you select the next mission. And then you have the deck editor. So this is your deck editor. This is the all the cards. So I believe, yeah, there's 204 cards, and so far I only have 162. So editing pretty much lets you, if you can see where the it's highlighted in gray, there's a 1 and then a 0 next to it. I can unequip it, and that 0 turns into a 1, and that 1 turns into a 0, which means I no longer have that card equipped. So I can equip it, or not equip it. And out of the 204 cards, I only have 162, I believe. So I'm just gonna walk you through some of these right quick. These are, I believe, these are special cards, and here's the evade. The evade all around, you have front and rear. These are the all around. So if an enemy is standing to the left or to the right, and you have this card equipped, you can, like, he will literally move out of the line of fire. So bullets will literally miss this dude. What else you have? So if you have 2 of these cards and you equip them over each other, he can actually use it instead of waiting to be used automatically. So the way the combat in this game works, and I can do combat video later if you want. I can play through a mission and you guys can just watch how the whole thing goes down. But the way that if I have 2 of these, I can equip one in my little squares on the top right hand of the screen, and if I put another of the same weapon on top of it, if I overlap them, he will use them, but I believe he still keeps the original one. So you have stingers. I believe this is a movement card. Diarrhea. Diarrhea is actually funny because you have a total of, on your screen you have a total of 6 cards, 6 or 5 cards at one time. Diarrhea basically flushes those cards out and it'll give you whole new cards. So if you don't like the cards that you have equipped or the cards that you're using, like I said, I can do gameplay, I can do actual combat, I can do a mission later, but this is pretty much, some of these are awesome because this will get rid of all the cards you have and it'll give you fresh cards. So I believe dual blades, this is if you're standing next to an enemy, you can use this, and Snake will use the twin blades of who was that, Solidus? I was about to say Solidius. Of course you have the alert. Some of these cards are badass. This gives you more turns. Let me see what else. The ninja. I read the ninja. Let me see. This is Taliko, which is Snake's partner later on in the game. Here we go. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So these are all the cards that I've collected so far. Excuse me. Weapons cards, stuff like that. You have special cards. There's one that I want to show you. Okay, so this is how you add, you go from 2 blocks to 4, and you can equip more stuff. There's one that you can equip and it'll add 6 right here. You can equip up to 6 things, 6 evade cards or 6 weapons card. You can also equip a bulletproof vest and a ballistics vest, and I'll show you what those look like in a minute. Let me see, knife. There's your body armor. You equip it. What else? Let me see. Stealth. This is only good for like 5 turns or something like that. You need these 3: uniform A, B, and C later on in the game. You have a detonator. You have, I wouldn't recommend using, later on in the game, these do come in handy. You have the porno mags, of course, because why not? Ceramic vest, and you have bomb blast. These are better than your first aid than your first aid kits, because these restore more life. There's one that I want to show you. This is a special card. Some of these, I don't know what they do. I've never used them. These are the evade cards. Evade front, evade rear, all around. And they come in different levels. So this is level 1. Then you have level 2 right here. I think you have to level 3. Yeah, level 3. Evade. Some of these are... This one is my favorite card. Let me see if I can... Details. Okay. Yeah, this... Cyborg Ninja will let you attack an enemy anywhere on the map. So... Like I said, in a later video, I can definitely do gameplay footage, but I just wanted to show you guys some gameplay footage now. But let me know down in the comments if you want to see me do some, if you want to see me run a mission and use some of these cards. I have 162 out of 204, and there's more cards to collect. So I'm not gonna get into too much detail about it, but if you guys want to see me run a mission, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Did you play this game? Did you get a chance to play it? Did you own a PSP? Did you even care about PSPs? Let me know. Definitely we'll be making another video regarding this. So like I said, this has been Sunderland Sr. doing Metal Gear Acid. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. And you guys have yourselves an awesome